Hello and welcome to this guide on how to apply noise reduction to your audio, and this is something you can do in Premiere but you should do in Adobe Audition. As ever with audio, I've created an originals folder in which I've loaded off my SD card from my Tascam, the original audio I've recorded, and then I'm going to copy that and then go back from my originals into the directory beneath that and edit there. And the reason for that is when you edit in Adobe Audition, you're editing that file that you're working on, you're changing it destructively as the terminology goes, whereas in Premiere that's not the case. So if I load this into Adobe Audition, you will see a little bit of speech there, that's the signal, and also quite a bit of noise. If you zoom in there, you can see that's what we call the noise floor. So that's what we want to get rid of. We want to remove it from here, but we also want to remove it from within the speech as well. So there's two things you need to do. You need to capture a noise print, and then with that noise print, remove it from your entire file. So the easiest way to do that, to view consistently this noise, is to view the spectral frequency display. So that looks very complicated, but all you need to know at this point is that you need to find the most consistent noise. So you can see here there's a little bump here, so that's an inconsistency. What we're trying to do is find the noise, and again you can see little bumps here. You want to avoid those, and we're just after the noise itself that's consistently noise in this signal. If I just play it, you'll see the noise I'm talking about. My old man's a dustman, he wears a dustman's cap. So there we go, we've got a little bit of speech there, and as it's going on, we've got the computer noise in the background, which I want to remove. So I'm going to avoid these little blobs, and I'm going to go to somewhere like here where it's relatively consistent, and use that to tell the computer, or to tell Adobe Audition, that that is the noise I'm looking for to remove. So if I go to Effects after highlighting that noise, and go to Noise Reduction, Capture Noise Print. That now is the noise. If I unselect, so if I've got anything selected, if I unselect it, then the next effect I will add will apply to the whole audio file. If I go back to Effects, Noise Reduction, and actually choose Noise Reduction proper now, the process, then this will apply noise reduction. So I'm going to play it now. My old man's a dustman, he wears a dustman's cap. And that seems to be working very well. So what's happening here is you've got a threshold at which point you want the noise reduction to cut in, and you want to bring that up fairly high to the yellow dots there, which are the signal. But I would suggest not all the way. And then the amount of noise reduction, and you very rarely want to go over 10, so that's about right. It's worth noting the spectral decay rate, which acts like a noise gate. So if that's a little bit too high, then you'll hear at the tail of my speech, you'll still hear the noise kick in before it goes away. So have a listen to this with quite a high spectral decay. He wears a dustman's cap. So that's very high and a very slow reduction in the noise. Let me bring it down a little bit further. He wears a dustman's cap. So you can hear with the tail end there, it's still making a little bit of noise. He wears a dustman's cap. And that's why I have to reduce this, and in this case, I think about 30 works quite well. He wears a dustman's cap. And never go overboard, never be tempted to reduce things to the extreme. If they work, bring them down to the level where they work, and never do anything with too much exaggeration. It's always subtlety that works best with these things. And now if I apply that, I have actually changed the file on the disk. You can do this after, by the way, you have loaded this WAV file into Premiere, and it will readjust. So if I save that now, I have, hopefully, a nice clean, there's a little bit of noise you can see there, but I should have a nice clean signal to noise ratio. My old man's a dustman, he wears a dustman's cap. And indeed, after applying that noise reduction, when you've got fairly quiet levels, it's then much easier to select areas and put in complete silence. If you do that before applying noise reduction, the cutoff is very, very noticeable. But now I should be able to completely clean out by selecting what should be completely silent and going to Effects, Silence. And as you can see, there's absolutely nothing there now, and I can go to the start as well and do the same. So if I select from the start, Effects, Silence, then I really do have a very clean signal. I've got absolutely nothing, and then the signal. My old man's a dustman, he wears a dustman's cap. So there you go. That is your quick lesson in how to apply noise reduction to your audio files.